Okay, what about the social influencers?
I mean, that's a whole different topic.
So, obviously, we have people who are creators on TikTok,
Yes.
and we have other creators on other platforms.
Definitely.
And some of these creators are great, and some of them are not so great. But what bugs me, I don't know if this is the same for everyone now, but what bugs me is that a lot of people today, they want to grow up to become influencers. And that does not make any sense to me. I don't understand how you can grow up to try and become an influencer.
So how do you influence? This conversation was there when people were starting to make hip hop, and I think the conversation is still there, but it was a little bit stronger back then. When it's like, these artists talking about drugs and whatever, there should be a responsibility because that affects the children.
Also, we're talking about like how they were an influence.
Yeah. So now, and then the counter argument to that was the rating.
Oh yeah, like the music was.
You know, the music is rated.
Yeah.
Like it's the parents' responsibility.
Yeah, like not everyone can listen to Eminem.
Like that ever.
Yeah,
mattered.
the video games are rated.
Like that ever mattered.
Well, you know.
Funny story. This is very off topic, but there was like this security at the cinema yesterday that was literally checking a bunch of old people if they were 15 years old. So they
And
could
he
watch
means
the Joker.
old.
Like old people. Like the guys had beards and like
Oh, wow.
it was a bunch of women and a bunch of guys and no one looked like they were 15. Pretty funny. Anyways, continue.
Anyways, so but now with influencers, it doesn't feel like anyone is getting rated. There's no sort of like there's just you can't say bad words, but basically you can literally talk about ridiculous content. You can talk about ridiculous topics for those kids, and no one is taking care of it. No one
You're
is
saying
looking at
there's not enough supervision, basically.
at all. Like
I mean, I get that. I'm back to like what Terry was trying to say. I feel it's weird. Like, how do you grow up wanting to become like, ideally you would want to be in a position where you have influence.
Exactly.
But I feel like people are more attracted to the lifestyle of being an influencer, that they then deviate from having that influence in the first place, where it's like good influence or whatever, because it's not about who you are at that certain point in time and what your message is. It's more about, hey, I just want that lifestyle. So they end up talking about anything.
Exactly.
Which then ties in with your point, because it's more like, hey, I'm just going to talk about a bunch of random things, but because I'm pretty, I'm going to get views and likes and subscribers.
You
and blah,
know,
blah, blah.
like,
or because I have a good voice, or because I have a good body, or whatever.
Let me put it this way. I have my brother. He's
An influencer?
10. No, he's 9. He's 9. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love that kid.
I think so.
Shout out Usman.
Shout out to Osman. If you're
Shout out
listening to this, Osman, go to bed.
So basically, he, like, there are a lot of YouTubers. He's a terrible kid, but at heart he's a good kid.
Oh,
and
he a Logan Paul boy?
No. He knows. We told him, like, if the YouTuber says bad words or anything,
Okay.
don't watch it. And he's like, okay, cool.
That's
and
most of the
he
YouTubers
listens.
now, by the
That's
way.
everyone.
Yeah.
But he listens.
Everyone.
You know, he listens. Like
Okay.
I respect it. But now since YouTube demonetizes anyone that says these bad words.
I mean, excessively, you still can have like
Yeah.
certain limit.
Yeah.
So now people don't. There becomes this problem. Okay, I don't want him to watch those YouTubers that talk about bad topics. Like, don't say bad words, but talk about bad topics. I don't want him to watch that, and I can't criticize the YouTuber because he will be like, okay, just don't watch my channel. You should take care of your brother more than, like, it's your problem, right?
Yeah,
Fair.
parenting, right?
But you can't really what's it called? You can't really regulate that. These videos are being uploaded every day. A YouTuber goes from, okay, let's just play Minecraft, to let's talk about some really nasty stuff. So you like. The child himself, there is no regulation. There is no, like, it's unless I watch every single video with my brother.
You'll never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Like when you're buying a CD or something, a song, you just know, okay, this is rated like that. The movie's rated like that. I'm 100% sure that everything within this movie is gonna be alright. And if something is not alright, there are people that will be held responsible.
Yeah.
But now, I can't do that.
Yeah, because it's kind of like you clicked on it. That's your responsibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now literally they go from, let's talk.
Yeah, no, I know. They keep shifting all around.
Exactly,
They
like
start
they-
off playing FIFA and then they become boxers.
Boxing.
So it's like
Don't get me
it's
started.
it's
madness.
it's like
Madness.
it's like it's not that they like we shouldn't be talking to the YouTubers themselves. Everyone is trying to hustle as much as they can, but I feel like
The social media platform.
social media platforms should
I mean, it would
regulate
be
this.
really difficult though.
Yeah, I don't
It should
think
be should be an
Yeah.
attempt.
it's not. I don't think it's something you can regulate,
Yeah.
honestly, because
Yeah.
there's so many people who are on the platform, and to the point where you're saying, "I'm gonna." Because here's the thing: YouTube did try, and they were just demonetizing channels, and they were just like picking out keywords and whatever. Then they would just demonetize channels, demonetize videos, taking down channels, right? And channels who would have done nothing wrong in the beginning because they're not like it's not a person doing it; it's like a bot, right?
Yeah.
So that became an issue within itself as well. Because now, a channel that has absolutely nothing wrong with it, because they use a specific word at a point in time and a bot caught it and then they just demonetize their video, it becomes an issue for the YouTuber as well.
How about the YouTubers just put a rating on their videos, and that will make just
But
life
that's
a lot
Then
easier.
self-regulation,
is that kid
and that wouldn't
really
work.
not gonna click on the video just because
That,
it
that,
says
that,
it's
that,
18
that becomes
plus
your
or-
problem and the child.
Yeah, but then they,
and
Yeah,
and
that's the
and,
same thing,
and there
right?
could be a system for from a programming point of view, you can literally just lock the website for the child, so on this phone or in this account, when the child is using this account, content above 18 should be locked.
Yeah, but then how can you know whether that
Well, you already
account is
have-
actually 15 or 18
Yeah.
or
like
20?
That's
like
the thing
you
is,
know?
like, you already have like safe browsing and all these like different
no,
features.
it's very easy.
Yeah, no, I'm
It's
saying you
very
already
easy
have a lot
to
of these
implement
features,
it.
but
But
there are videos on YouTube which are age restricted.
yeah,
100%.
there
are
are a
videos
lot
on
of
YouTube.
videos.
no, but that's like porn.
But no, not
No, not
not like porn.
Like-
But here's the thing. There are videos on YouTube that are age restricted, and people do warn at the beginning of like some videos. They'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, don't watch this if you're whatever,
Yeah.
whatever.
That's
if you're
very
whatever.
serious.
But here's the thing: if you're a YouTuber, right, and you care about your money, and you want to make sure you're pulling in as many
Yeah.
views as you have to pull in,
No, well,
you're not gonna
you're not
do
gonna
that.
care.
He's
about
supposed
age
to be
restricting.
held responsible if
he
he
won't.
no basically what happens here, you give there should be a rating, either you somehow should be a rating on the topic, and then maybe not making it very specific like movies like 12 plus PG something 15 plus, but like to a point where like right now you're this is the difference that's happening here: below 18, above 18. You get me? So like you're allowing kids in like age 17 and age 5 to watch the same videos.
By the way, for the audience at home, he actually pointed up and down because you can't see
Yeah,
him doing
spectrum.
that. Yeah, he had the spectrum for
On the
us
wall.
on the wall for us. So
Yeah.
So
yeah,
just,
You get me? Like if there
I
would
get
be
you.
like some sort of 10 plus or 13 plus. So 13 plus like so that you as a YouTuber you should be like there should be some sort of honesty and regulation, like okay, and if
but-
you don't do it, you can be held responsible for it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: are you gonna do that for your entire channel, or are you just gonna do it
For
for
a video.
See, that doesn't make sense though. If you're a kid, right? I'm looking at it for the child's perspective, right? And kids, they're smart these days, right? They know how to get around these things.
That's
It's
right.
so simple.
That's the
right?
parents' problem then.
But then
No, then you're going back to the original thing.
Because
That's
that's
just
the
the world and
that's
the
the parents'
age we
problem.
live in.
That's like a child going into
Yeah, okay,
like
let's say-
a
let's say-
website that's they're not supposed
Yeah,
to
but
go
let's say
into.
you're a kid.
That's like
Yeah,
your
but
own
that's
proper
that's
regulation.
different. That's completely different because here's the thing: you're watching a YouTuber every single day. Let's say someone who vlogs his life, right? And you're like, okay, you're 11, 12 years old. You watch this dude every single day as they vlog their life.
Mhm.
There's a video randomly that says, "Oh, okay, I'm not allowed to watch this. Stuff this. I'm gonna go to whatever private or incognito mode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch this video regardless." How does it then become the parents' problem if this kid is doing
Okay.
something
So
that he deems
so
is
so
okay?
so you can do this through the application. You can just restrict the YouTube to the application. There can be some programming.
There are a lot of
there are
apps.
ways that you
there
can
are a lot of
implement
apps
it.
that like have like safe
Netflix,
browsing.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
example. Netflix.
So
Yeah.
that I can do from my child. This is from my side. I can do that. From my brother, from my side, I can do that. But like the YouTuber now would be pushed to deal with this. So for example, let's say I'm making a storyline. Okay, I'm talking about vlogging my trip to I don't know wherever. All right, 5 days, and one of the days I just go ham. It's not gonna make sense for me because I will lose viewers here. There will be no sort of inconsistency. I am forced to make it consistent.
Yeah, but then
You
won't
get me?
you
Okay,
get
hold up.
more viewers because...
Hold up. The Logan Paul situation, where he did that thing, where he went to the forest, and there was a guy that was hung, and he laughed about it. He lost a lot of viewers, lost a lot of subscribers, but then people forget.
Yeah.
People just
People
move on.
People still
stop
preach
watching
Logan
it
Paul.
again.
It's very simple.
And you just watch again.
You just, all you do here is just, if someone, like, wait, what's your point? Like, you're saying that.
I'm saying like you can't just say, oh, this person made, content that is not suitable for their viewers, so they should get flagged or something like that.
No. I'm saying like YouTubers will not be forced to 5 days for consistency. I'll just make all 5 of them age appropriate.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You get me?
How can?
And if I want to
here's the
add
thing.
something, I'll say this is like an addition on the side. Like
It
proper,
sounds convenient to you
doesn't affect
because you want it to be done.
But you as the YouTuber,
Responsibility,
but think about
bro.
it. Think about it. You as a YouTuber, you bring out a video, right? And then it may be a little controversial. It may not be. You as a YouTuber, you're thinking to yourself, I'm gonna push this content regardless.
Yes, because controversy equals conversation. Conversation equals more views. More views equals
And
more money.
And here's the thing.
No, it's very simple. You just report it. It doesn't have to be a conversation. When a lot of YouTubers do it, it just becomes a report. A family decides that, my child just watched this video that's rated below 13, and wait, he's talking about some really nasty stuff.
Yeah, but
here.
there's a difference between what you would find inappropriate and what someone else would
find
find. Like if you're in the
YouTube
States,
would decide
there's things.
No, YouTube would decide then.
No, but then who is YouTube to decide? Because, for example, let's say to you nudity is a very nasty thing, but then you have a nudist family who just walks around
It's not
naked.
even. How about if
in a
bikini and then you think to yourself, okay, no, I'm gonna flag that.
It's not. I'm talking about proper, sexual.
So it needs to
or
be bad.
Yeah, it needs to be bad. Look at the stuff that are allowed for video gamers for the age of where you don't have to be 18 to watch them. Look at what's allowed. It's very bad. It's very bad. Do you understand what my brother has to watch and how they guys sexualizing girls and girls sexualizing guys, and he's only 9. And the video is only about Minecraft or some stupid ass stuff. And he's just
He's so
First of all, I think you're exaggerating.
No. It's my actual problem. Your brother is not a child.
14. Yeah,
okay,
he's 14.
I am actually facing this problem right now, where my brother himself is frustrated about how there are videos where he's enjoying because he thought that this YouTuber would take responsibility for what he's showing, and now he does. He has some sort of self conscious, he's good about it. No, let me be very frustrated. I want to be very frustrated. I am very frustrated.
All right.
Okay. But listen to me. Listen. Yeah, fair enough.
If you're talking to me about the convenience for the YouTuber, I'm not
going to talk to you about.
What's more important, the convenience for the YouTuber or the
He's just
impact?
explaining why it just probably won't happen.
Yeah, I'm not talking about.
It's not something I think you can implement as a YouTuber as well, because you as an entertainer, your job is to grab views, grab attention, and make sure people are watching you consistently.
Showbiz, baby.
Exactly. Let's take what's his name, Jake Paul, for example. Right, his audience is really young. Right, he has a really young audience, but his content is so incredibly inappropriate.
So you don't think it doesn't matter if he can deal with it or not? Do you get me? If you force a rule, if you put a rule like that, you could have said the same argument about demonetization.
Yeah, but my point isn't
about
their
saying bad
point.
words.
My point is that the whole subjectivity thing. So for example, you have a brother and I have a brother. Yours is 9, fine. Mine's 14, a bit older. But I've had this problem since he was 9, 10 as well. But the thing is, for me, I never viewed it as a problem, and then I never approached him as this being a problem. For me and my family, this is him learning about the real world. This is him, we tell him, hey, this is it, and then this is what we think about it, and then this is how we suggest you think about it. But then at the end of the day, the thinking is up to you, and if you want to keep watching this shit, then you can keep watching it. But to you, then you and your family approach it differently, right? So that's my point. That YouTube
the content 5 years ago is a lot more different.
Okay, no, hold on.
No, even today.
Can I just say
even
something?
today.
Can I just say something? I feel like it's part of growth. Genuinely, okay, hear me out.
Yeah.
Yes, right now it's happening on gaming videos and Minecraft and all that stuff. But think about back in the days, people used to go to the video store and like sneak into the inappropriate sections and get the videos out of it.
Fake IDs,
magazines,
You know,
like Playboy magazines.
what did you just say?
IDs.
What did you say? There is some sort of regulation.
No, but like technically there is. Like YouTube will take down something that you know.
Jake Paul stuff.
No, like YouTube probably
if
won't.
you flag it,
I mean, yes,
there's
if it gets enough flags and reports, it would.
Here, there's
YouTube will take out straight up porn off YouTube.
There's a difference. If you're telling me right now
so there is regulation.
that it doesn't matter because even if there are regulations, people go around it.
Yes.
That's a terrible argument because there's a difference between saying something is bad, don't do it, and the person does it, or not saying anything about that thing at all, and the person still does it.
So that's your job as a family and as a parent to tell that person that this is inappropriate.
I tell him, but now for him, the video is not demonetized. There are no bad words being said, but the content itself is bad. Do you understand that the content itself? Watch one of these videos that these kids watch. It's very actually bad.
I'm not watch Minecraft videos.
No, they're not Minecraft. They're not Minecraft videos.
We've had this conversation before.
They watch some of the videos that these kids watch, man. Like the things that they learn from such a young age. It's like
just because it's the internet. Like everything is connected.
Yeah,
everything
but
is
there
easy
should be
access.
some sort because now I'm telling him, okay, don't watch people that say bad words. Don't watch this type of things. Don't watch that. Don't watch that. I can only tell him to a point.
But here's the thing. You can say the same thing about any social media platform, right? You can say the same thing about Instagram.
And influencers.
Everything.
Influencers. If it's a job and you're getting money out of it, there should be some sort of regulation.
No, there is. But the thing is, there is on different platforms, right? And Facebook. I mean, on YouTube, there are regulations which keep people in check.
Not enough.
What more can like if you give them?
I just told you, just rating.
No, but the other part falls on you. You can't just straight up rate stuff. What about what about the freedom? What about the whole like
freedom with kids, bro? Is that what you're actually trying to tell me right now? You want freedom with my 90-year-old brother?
Actually, yes, because see, as I told you, like in my family, we approach it different. Honestly, I actually feel lucky that my brother gets to access whatever he wants online, like like he gets to learn shit that I didn't learn when I was a kid, right? And this sort of prepares him better for the world, as well as it also teaches him, oh, this is good, this is wrong. Like he gets to form an opinion before I got to form an opinion. You know, he gets to think before I was able to think.
I'm sorry, are you trying to tell me right now that we should let kids know more about these messed up stuff and then make an opinion at a very young age?
Yeah, I prefer a kid who's 10 knowing what sex is and then refraining from it or having safe sex. Example. Just an example. Okay? And refraining from it or having safe sex instead of not knowing what it is, and then at the age of 14 he just slips in there and then it's like, ooh, now there's a girl pregnant and there's a 14-year-old dad.
No, I'm not talking about sex. That's not.
That was just an example.
Yeah, no, but the conversation now is way more complicated than that. This is what I'm trying to get to you. It's the content is way worse than that.
How?
What's way worse than sex for a 10-year-old?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, what are you talking about? What have you seen on those Minecraft videos?
What do they say?
I mean, I know there was like a girl gamer that was selling her like bathwater or something.
Yeah, and she wasn't even on YouTube.
That was
nasty.
That was just gross.
What are you talking about?
Okay, there's over sexualizing.
Okay, that is sex. You're talking about sex.
Yeah, but that's there on TV. That's there in news. That's there in their day-to-day life.
Everything.
That's there in day-to-day life.
Again, that's what I'm telling you. Like the internet has just made it so easy to access everything that it now. I mean, yes, it's a lot more complicated and it's tricky, but it's literally like you can't argue that kids back in the day or like us growing up had it any different. Like whenever we wanted to find out about something, we asked around, we talked to the older kids, if you went out of your way to go into a video store or to go online or download a VPN, like this has always been there. It's just I feel like people are starting to really kind of sit back and take it like super seriously, as in, hey, you know what, like this is wrong. But then you think about it and you're like, hey, when we grew up, it was the same way.
And even
it was the exact same way. Okay. Even cartoons, there was a lot of like over sexualizing cartoons.
Cartoons.
Yeah, but there was very subtle.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Dexter's Laboratory.
God.
Just so I understand you guys' point of view, do you believe that maybe YouTube should do like the suggestion, something around.
In an
it.
ideal world, yes. Will it ever happen? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
In your like, do you want it to happen or not? This is what I'm saying.
Perfect scenario, yes. I'd like, my kids to
No,
not
like-
find out about certain things at such a young age.
Not about not finding out, like about them doing the whole regulation by making people.
No, but that's the only way it would affect me. Like, I don't care what YouTube does, except if it's related to, let's say, my children, for example, right? So, yes, in an ideal world, but also at the same time, I feel like it's my responsibility in a way where it's like, maybe I should monitor their, online time. I know it's pretty impossible now. Like, you're always on the phone, on the iPads, on the laptops, whatever, but...
What do you guys think?
It's just the reality, I feel.
Do you think it should, like, there should be some sort of attempt for regulation?
No, this sort of reminds me of I was watching this episode of a show on Netflix with Jimmy Carr.
Something.
Yeah, come on. And then, so one of their episodes was about this whole responsibility and the internet thing. And one of the, it was at the same time the dumbest as well as the most brilliant idea I've ever heard. And their suggestion was that, hey, how about we give sort of, let's say, an identity card for every internet person user. So whatever account you have is linked to that thing. So you sort of lose your freedom, but there's like regulation. But at the same time, this sort of like limits, like internet won't be internet anymore, right?
That's
so
the thing.
If you
That's very
over-regulate
complicated.
it, as we said, this whole thing is very complicated. So if you over-regulate it, it can have repercussions. At the same time, it will give you some certain benefits,
Yeah.
That's the thing with the internet. Whenever you try to like push for privacy and security more, you start losing like, accessibility. So it's a trade-off. Like, if you want
so you
want to
have perfect
you gotta
balance.
deal with it. I just feel like, going back to that when Shay was talking about like his brother, I feel like it holds families a bit more responsible, where it's like you need to have these conversations a lot earlier now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are a lot of
How
things
do you
you need to
wanna raise
talk.
your kids?
Yeah, there are a lot of things you need to talk about with your children way earlier.
Yeah, quick fast.
Than maybe in
because
the past.
they'll find it on the internet.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
even if you are watching,
Even if they're
it,
not looking for it,
they'll find it.
Yeah, they'll
and
find
the
it.
thing is, even with kids today are growing up so much faster than they did when we were young. I feel like I got exposed to, all like sex and all the stuff, nudity and all the stuff pretty late on in my life. You know what I mean? And it was a shock. You know what I mean? So now kids seeing that real early. So you need to be able to have that conversation.
Exactly.
We had the conversation with my brother way before YouTube. And that's why we're not, like, right
That's good,
now,
no. Like, the thing is, I liked what you said about your
You're
brother
taking
having that
responsibility.
responsibility
Yeah,
as well. Like,
exactly.
he knows, oh, this is bad, I shouldn't watch it. And I feel like maybe that's what we should be doing.
But
Yes.
I feel like it should go both ways. Like, yes, you did let your brother, like, you told him about it, but I don't think your brother should be introduced to daily content that a 17-year-old is introduced to. So I just feel like there should just be at like one extra category where it's like plus 12 or below 12. And then if your family decides, okay, it's okay for my brother to watch above 12, that's your decision. That goes back to your family. But if my family decides, okay, I don't feel like I don't feel like he should be seeing stuff that 17-year-old are seeing on a daily. We can have the conversation. Today I can talk to him about it. I can tell him no, yes, whatever. But if he's gonna be having this daily exposure to it, even he's still in his development years, and he's gonna pass through like hormones and all that.
Yeah,
movement.
I get you. I just hope my kid has enough hobbies to not like
watch TikTok videos.
No, I just don't want him to like watch them.
And honestly, I liked what Frank said. Like the whole kids are growing up earlier, so I feel like that's also something
That's what Terri
like.
said.
That's what Terri said.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
I mean, I did
Terri,
point
we're one
at
person,
Terri.
Terri. We're one person.
I did point at Terri.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, I like what I was gonna say Frank again.
Terri, we're one person, Terri. Hey.
What Terri said. Because I feel like parenting as a whole has got to change because kids are growing up faster. And what you might say, like, a 17-year-old is getting exposed to, I feel like that's sort of for our generation. And right now, the 17-year-olds are today's 14-year-olds, you know, in terms of how fast they're growing up.
And the 17-year-olds are exposed to, like, 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
Stuff, you know?
Uncomfortable stuff.
You know,
like 17-year-olds are stressed out, man. They're like
17-year-olds are having suicidal
talking
thoughts.
about, like, stress and politics and Brexit and
Yeah, you know, here's
growing up way too fast.
Here's the thing, though. Like, people say this argument a lot, but I used to say it myself, but now I have a different opinion towards it. Yes, times change, and you get more exposure to these things, but at the same time, we're still the same humans, sort of, still have the same brains. So, like, maybe a little bit of, like, genetic development or something, but we're still basically intrinsically the same. So, when my dad was a child, and when my brother now is a child, it's basically, like, be the same thing. I don't know, I'm not a bio expert,
Nah,
but I
like
think
the
so.
exposure all around them is so different. Like,
Yeah,
your father and your brother are, like, completely different.
It's not like these kids are born geniuses and they can make, like, they're still in their development years, and it's, yes, they are exposed to it a lot, but it does, but when you're exposed so much to these things,
fair enough. Let us know what you guys think about TikTok. Are you pro or
so now
anti-TikTok?
If his friends, let's say some of his friends are messed up, and his friends start doing some of these messed up stuff at 9-year-old, the 9-year-olds of today are the 13-year-olds of last generation, which were doing drugs, let's say, and 9-year-olds now are doing drugs. I don't think I want my brother who's 9 to take a decision whether he should take a drug or not. Because he will say no, but I don't think I want him to go through that decision. He's still 9,
yes,
and if if he does take it, I can't give him blame.
Yeah, that's like a thing about, like, I mean, humanity at this stage, honestly, it's beyond children and stuff. Like, we're growing too fast for our own good. Like, we're advancing way too fast. And honestly, that's a very complex topic that maybe we should talk about later, because it's a very, you can go very deep in that conversation and stuff. But
no, definitely.
Yeah, that's a whole thing of its own.
Yeah, I think with a lot of today's social media, a lot of today's internet, it's easy to get stuck in that trap, and really your kids getting stuck in that trap as well. I
really enjoyed this conversation.
Absolutely,
yeah, it's pretty interesting.
So we want you guys to tell us what you think as well. Give us your opinions, your comments, and your opinions. Let us know what you guys think of our podcast. Give us some ideas as well, what we can talk about next. Thank you so much for listening. Like, subscribe, and give us all the goodness that you can. This has been the Third Culture Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time, guys.